So now they actually transfer from the cruise ship. Now they get onto a warship, and eventually they end up on a landing craft that's heading to shore because they're going to war. Again, I covered that in 6 minutes right now. It's much more well detailed in the book, but right now they're getting ready to do their landing. Back to the book. The area now looked like an overcrowded tube train. The troops had pushed so close together that you could count the blackheads on your neighbor's face. I sat on my kit observing the order to keep all noise down, no talking. I looked around me at the hundreds of cammed faces. So they got camouflage paint on. At hundreds of cammed faces, all with big, wide eyes. Each face told its own story. Each soldier had his own thoughts about the coming battle. And as the lads quietly sat about waiting. Always waiting. The story of all soldiers. Myself, I couldn't help but think that it was still a joke, and that we wouldn't be going to shore. My stomach was in knots and the nausea was hard to control. The nervousness running through me was the worst of all. Waiting for that fucking green light. Doc Murdoch sat next to me, pulling faces like a comedian. "Fuck off, Doc," I said. "I've got the jitters." "We've all got to go somewhere, Vince. Don't worry." The frustration of waiting and all the hassles of the last 6 weeks disappeared as we watched in stunned silence the battle for Fanning Head to our left. Fanning Head was the RGOP near San Carlos. The SAS had mounted an attack there to allow our landings to go ahead without interference. The tracer rounds and naval bombardment on the tip of the bay brought us abruptly into the real world. "Jesus, look at that. It's a fireworks display," shouted a lad at the front of the craft. "Shut up and face the coming beach." We hadn't noticed we were moving towards the beach. All heads had been turned to watch the battle. So that's a little wake-up call. They're going in to do their beach landing, and there's a massive firefight going on where the SAS is doing a hit.